If you had to survive the apocalypse, from which game would you use the experience you gathered throughout those countless hours on your gaming station to keep you alive? Would you gamble on something hardcore and unforgiving, or go with a world where exploration feels endless? Survival games are a special breed of video games. They're not just about shooting or building, they're about outsmarting hunger, weather, enemies, and sometimes even your own teammates. Now the thing is, with so many choices out there, it's easy to waste your time on a game that looks fun at first but ends up being dead after a few hours. That's why today we're going to cut through the noise and name 5 of the best online survival games you should actually be playing this year. Some of these games are already classics that keep evolving, while others are new faces that might surprise you with how much potential they have. And maybe there's at least one on this list that you probably forgot about, or maybe never even gave a real chance. But trust me, after watching this, you might want to give it a go. So the first game I want to talk about is 7 Days to Die, and man, this game is like the cockroach of survival games. It just refuses to die, and honestly, that's a good thing. I remember trying it years ago when it was still in early access and it felt janky as hell. Zombies would glitch through doors, the graphics looked horrible, and yet it still gave me a few hours of enjoyment. Fast forward to now, and somehow this game is still alive, kicking, and actually thriving with updates. The core idea is simple but brutal. You're dropped into a world filled with zombies, you loot whatever junk you can find, and you slowly build up a base to survive the inevitable blood moon hordes. And trust me, if you think you're safe behind some wooden walls, just wait until a pack of zombie dogs and a fat cop zombie start tearing through your defenses like it's paper. That's when the panic sets in. What makes 7 Days to Die special compared to other survival games is how deep the crafting and building system goes. You're not just slapping down walls, you're literally engineering your base like some kind of post-apocalyptic architect, I guess. You want traps? Drawbridges? Go for it, the freedom is insane. Now yeah, the game still has its quirks, it's never going to be the prettiest survival game on the market, but if you're after that mix of horror, base building, and chaotic multiplayer, moments where your friend accidentally blows up your generator with a pipe bomb, 7 Days to Die is still one of the best experiences out there. Especially if you're a Twitch streamer. That add-on they have? Let's just say, giving the range of game mechanics to your chat is not the greatest of ideas when playing this. The game is available on almost all platforms, so if you got something that's not Nintendo, you can probably play this. Now if 7 Days to Die feels like the grizzled veteran of survival games, then Dune Awakening is the flashy newcomer that everyone's keeping an eye on, and honestly, it deserves the attention. Survival on Arrakis is not your typical chop trees build campfire type of deal. Nope. Here, the planet itself wants you dead, and it's not just the giant sandworms you need to worry about. The coolest thing about Dune Awakening is how it mixes survival mechanics with MMO elements. You got that open world crafting, base building, and resource gathering, but it's all set in this brutal desert where even standing out in the open sunlight for too long can kill you. Heat, dehydration, sandstorms, you're constantly fighting the environment, and if you're in the deep desert part of the game, then add other players on top of that as well. And that makes even the small victories feel huge. Picture this. You're out scavenging for spice with your buddies. You see the ground trembling, and suddenly everyone's screaming, "Worm sign!" As you rush to your vehicles, trying not to become a snack for a creature the size of a skyscraper, that's the kind of tension this game nails. Now, it's still an evolving game, so not everything's perfect yet. There are bugs, balancing issues, and sometimes the servers feel like they're run by a Harkonnen accountant on a vacation. But despite that, the potential here is massive. Even though the devs currently are experiencing an identity crisis with the game, since they can't make up their mind whether they want the endgame to be more PvP or PvE, I can appreciate that they are aiming to make Dune Awakening the definitive survival MMO of the decade, with all the updates they are pushing out. If you ever wanted to feel like Paul Atreides and know what it's like to survive on one of the harshest fictional planets ever created, this is the game you need to check out. Just don't forget to pack extra water. It is available for PC with console versions coming up later. Next up is a game that had one of the rockiest launches in gaming history, but here we are, and it's honestly one of the best survival experiences you can have right now, No Man's Sky. I'll be real with you, when this game first dropped, I was one of those people who felt scammed. it offered basically every feature a great space game should have, short of delivering me a pizza. What we actually got back then was just, let's just say, a little undercooked. But credit where credit's due. Hello Games did not give up. Years of updates later, this game has transformed into a true survival sandbox masterpiece. Now you got base building on alien planets, space raiders to manage, multiplayer exploration with friends, and actual reasons to keep playing beyond just walk around and scan rocks. Hell, the latest update even brought Starfield-level shipbuilding, ship interiors, and spacewalks. I cannot imagine the amount of programming that had to be made to implement this into an already flawlessly working game without breaking everything. With this update, Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous developers basically just got kicked in the butt. What makes No Man's Sky unique in the survival genre is the scale. You're not just surviving against zombies or rival players, you're surviving across an entire universe. One moment you're scavenging oxygen plants on some toxic nightmare planet, the next you're mining resources to upgrade your ship so you can warp to a completely different galaxy. It's survival on a galactic level. And the beauty of it is how it balances that chill exploration vibe with genuine danger. You could be cruising along, naming alien creatures something stupid like butt chicken, and then suddenly your hazard suit starts beeping because the planet's atmosphere is literally melting your face off. The game keeps you on your toes without always punishing you too hard. The multiplayer is also a huge win now. Playing with friends, building massive bases together, or just setting off on a journey to see how far you can get is the kind of survival that feels limitless, and the community keeps this game alive with creativity too. So yeah, No Man's Sky went from being the internet's punching bag to a game I'd actually recommend to anyone who wants survival mixed with exploration and endless what-ifs. It's not just a comeback story, it's proof that a game can redeem itself and become something special. The game is available on all platforms. Oh, and Hello Games, if you're watching this is a message for you. Let us give you more money. Now let's talk about SCUM, the survival game that feels like it was designed to make you suffer in the most realistic way possible. If most survival games let you run around like a superhero after eating one piece of canned tuna, SCUM is here to remind you that your body is actually a complicated mess of stats, calories, and bodily functions. And yes, I'm talking about literally managing your metabolism, vitamins, and let's just say some other natural processes. On paper, that sounds like the most boring survival system ever, but in practice it actually works, because SCUM leans all the way into realism. You're not just surviving against zombies and other players, you're surviving against your own body. Eat too much junk food, your character gains weight. Forget to stay hydrated, say goodbye to stamina. It's basically the Dark Souls of survival games, except instead of a giant boss, you're fighting constipation. The game world itself is huge. It's on this massive prison island that feels alive with threats. You got abandoned towns, military bases, wildlife, and of course, other players who will absolutely camp your loot if you're not careful. I'm just gonna say that PvP is more than brutal in this game. What I love about SCUM is how it rewards preparation. You can't just YOLO your way into fights. You need to think about what gear to bring, how much food you got, and whether you can even run that far without collapsing from hunger. When you finally pull off a raid or escape a fight with barely any health left, the adrenaline rush is insane. Oh, and also, make sure to not drink and eat too much before going into a firefight. You don't want to be caught with your pants down. Literally. Now I'll be honest, SCUM is not for everyone. It's clunky at times, the learning curve is steep, and if you're not into micromanaging survival stats, you'll probably bounce off it fast. But for hardcore survival fans who want something deeper than eat berry, hit tree, craft eggs, SCUM is one of the most immersive experiences you can get. It's a type of game that punishes mistakes harshly but makes every small success feel like a real achievement, and that's why it's still holding strong. SCUM is available both on PC and Xbox. Oh, and do you know what other achievement there is that you could get? Hitting that like and subscribe buttons so you wouldn't miss my future uploads. And finally, we can't talk about survival games without mentioning the one that started it all for so many players, DayZ. This game is basically the grandfather of the modern survival genre. Sure, it's old, it's clunky, and sometimes it feels like the game is fighting you even more than the zombies do. But there's still nothing else quite like it. The magic of DayZ isn't in its graphics or the gunplay, it's in the stories that happen because of the game. You spawn in with nothing but a glow stick and some rags, starving on the coast, and then you slowly claw your way inland hoping to find food, a backpack, maybe a gun if you're lucky. Every single step feels like life or death, and the tension never really goes away. What sets DayZ apart is the way it forces human interaction. You meet another player. Do you trust them? Do you run? Or do you try to kill them before they kill you? That split-second decision can completely change your playthrough. I had moments where I thought someone was about to murder me, only for them to hand me a can of beans and become my best friend for the next 2 hours. On the flip side, I've also been betrayed so hard that I still think about it years later. That's DayZ. It's unpredictable, brutal, and unforgettable. And even now, the community is keeping it alive with mods, servers, and new ways to play. From hardcore vanilla experiences to completely custom servers with traders, missions, and new maps, DayZ is basically a sandbox for survival storytelling. It's less about winning and more about what kind of a story your session creates. Now don't get me wrong, it's still frustrating as hell sometimes. You'll die to bugs, to lag, to zombies clipping through walls, or just because you accidentally ate raw chicken. But that's also part of the charm. DayZ has this rough, unpolished edge that makes every success feel earned. At the end of the day, DayZ isn't just a survival game, it's a survival experience. And that's why, even with all the new contenders, it still stands as one of the best survival games you can play right now. It is available for PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. For honest mentions, I feel like I should add Project Zomboid. I heard all the best things about this game, but I just haven't played it myself, so I couldn't add it into my list. I hear it's hard, detailed, and really rewarding if you do manage to survive for a long time, so I will definitely check it out myself at some point. Also, we can't forget about Rust. It's another grandfather of the survival genre. Its early access started together with DayZ back in 2013. The game itself is great and also one of the best survival games out there, but I just don't like how toxic the community of that game is, so bear that in mind if you never tried it and would like to get in there. So there you have it, 5 of the best online survival games you could play, from the endless creativity of No Man's Sky to the legendary tension of DayZ. Each of these 5 games gives you a completely different flavor of survival. The cool part is, no matter what kind of survivor you are, there's something here for you. Want to chill and explore galaxies? Play No Man's Sky. Want every calorie you eat to matter? SCUM's got you covered. Or maybe you just want the raw, unpredictable chaos of player encounters? DayZ will chew you up and spit you out, but you'll keep coming back anyway. I'd love to know, out of these 5, which one do you consider the best? Or maybe you're already playing one of them and have a crazy story to share. Drop it in the comments because honestly, half of the fun of survival games is hearing about other people's wild experiences. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, join the Discord. I'd love to squad up with you sometime. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.